So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to EduTap. All the students who are watching us live, just let me know in the chat section if the audio is clear and the video is clear. I'm displaying the board in front of you. Just send a ping, a thumbs up, or a good afternoon, or anything. Just let us know in the chat section if audio and video both are clear to you. And then we will proceed with today's discussion. I'm waiting for your responses. Yes. All right, Sunil. Okay. So perfect. So a very warm welcome to EduTap and welcome to this session on ACE answer writing for RBI Grade B Phase 2 examination. I am Surbhi Sirdana and we are taking these lectures on descriptive part of your syllabus. Today it's the day for management. Good afternoon, Zakin. This is management part 2 that we are doing today. So let's quickly see what we are doing here if you're watching for the first time. Also, I know it's a bit late, but I understand that many of you do not have access to good quality content for your phase 2 examination. So still you can purchase our live crash course. I understand you will not be able to attend all the classes or you must have missed on many of the classes. So what you can do is you can at least have access to these short notes which appear here. And not just this, you will be provided with good quality mind maps. Just let me just reopen the slide again. So good quality mind maps would be provided. All the notes, they are updated with current affairs. So what you can do is just purchase the crash course, take the mock test, go through the mind maps and update the current affairs there and then. All right. So if you feel that your content is of good quality but you need some mock tests, you can also purchase these test series. We are offering a flat 50% off on the live crash course as well as the test series here. The link for both of them is given in the description, so you can check that out. So yes, always we start with a positive commandment. We always say that you can write great answers, have faith in yourself, stick to these videos and stick to what you are learning here. Read good quality answers and hence you will be able to write great answers in your examination. So have that faith in yourself. Let's quickly go through the schedule. Today we are at July 27. This is the second last day of our discussion and we are taking management. This is management part 2 here. We've discussed all the components of answer writing with all the syllabus, ESI, finance, one lecture on management, and here we are at the second lecture of management and tomorrow is going to be the last class and we'll bid adieu and with the hope that all of you succeed. The timings for these sessions, they are 3 p.m. every day. I see you live here. So this is the part of the syllabus that we have done. ESI is done, descriptive is done, English was taken by Narveed sir, and here I'm taking this part, descriptive part of finance and management to be very precise. Live practice to apply what you learn. Keep typing in the comment section, in the chat section. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this video later, if you're watching the recording on YouTube, then what you can do is type your answers in the comment section and we'll review them for you. All right. So these were the topics that we did yesterday from the management syllabus. So management is done, leadership is done. We took one question on each. Now the topics for today are human resource development and motivation, morale and incentives. See, this part is very simple. HRD is very simple and you will see this appearing in the objective part of the syllabus. In the descriptive part, questions have not been seen from human resource development. Our today's focus would be to take a philosophical question, which we have not taken earlier, and to teach you how to answer, how to dodge and how to, respectfully answer the philosophical questions. All right. So motivation, morale and incentives. What I want you to do here is to be aware of all the theories of motivation, how managers motivate, concept of morale, factors determining morale, role of incentives in building up morale. Basically, all the basics should be clear for you so that if you see an easy question on the examination, at least you are able to take that. You should be able to answer that very well. All right. Now what we are moving on towards is we are taking a question on motivation today. But before that, let me, present to you the 4-step approach that we take. Every day we start by recognizing keywords in the question and qualifying words. Your keywords are the topic in your answer, and qualifying words, these are the opinion words in your answer, or the opinion the examiner has or demands from you. Okay, whether he feels something is good or something is bad, and which way he wants you to write the answer. Then recognize the directives. That is the second part here. Recognizing the directives. The RBI exam is not playing a lot around directives, so we will just recognize and we will answer accordingly. Thirdly, we frame micro questions, that is understanding the question in detail so that we can answer all parts of the question. Then finally, we write a structured answer which contains introduction, body and conclusion. So moving on, this is the answer blueprint. You can download the PDF for this discussion from our Telegram channel. When this discussion is done, download this answer blueprint. It will give you a lot of insights on how to approach an answer, what to write in your introduction, body parts and conclusion, how to end your answer and how to make it really good. So let's begin writing our answer. So instead of 2 questions, we are taking just 1 question today because the exam is near, and I understand that apart from learning the skill, you need time for revision as well. So the question is, money is the only key to work motivation in modern business organizations. Comment. I'm repeating. Money is the only key to work motivation in modern business organizations. Comment. And in this, the word limit has not been mentioned. Let me make it clear. This has to be answered in 400 words and it will fetch you 10 marks. Alright. So first of all, what is the keyword in the question? Just let me know what is the keyword here, what is the qualifying word and what is the directive. And then we'll also figure out what is the micro question. Let me know the keywords, qualifying words, directives and micro questions in the chat section, all of you. What is the keyword here? Is money the keyword? Is motivation the keyword? Is modern business organization the keyword? What is the qualifying word? That is opinion of examiner. What is the opinion of examiner here? Directive. What is the directive? Finally, the micro question. What questions are asked? What questions are asked in, with the statement? So again, yes Sunil, yes Yakin, yes Khushbu. Motivating factors. Okay. All right. Money is the keyword. Yes Sunil. Okay. So yes, by the time you say money is the only key to work motivation in modern business organization. So first of all, identify the keywords. Money and motivation. These 2 are the keywords. What is the qualifying word? Only key to work motivation. The examiner feels that people nowadays, they work just for money, or organizations, they are able to employ people just for money. And what is the directive? Yes, Khushbu, that's right. The examiner wants to know your opinion. The examiner wants to know your opinion by giving his opinion. So yes, what is the directive here? The directive here is comment. Keyword is money and motivation. And qualifying word, something that is establishing a relation between them. That is, it is the only key to work motivation. The directive is comment. And the micro question, what is the actual question here? Is money the only reason for motivation at workplace? Is money the only reason for motivation of employees at workplace or for people? First of all, when I'm telling you micro question, that is money the only factor of motivation for employees in an organization? Do you agree with this or not? First of all, give me an opinion that do you agree or not? And then, does the world agree or not? How does the world feel? Tell me how you feel about it, and tell me what is the actual, what is the world feeling about it? What is the common narrative going on about this? No, Rigzin, you cannot do that. This is, first of all, it's not essay. This is part of your finance and management answers. So, okay, and you can never write in I. You cannot write in first person. Always write in second and third person, mostly third person, until unless you have to give an example. All right. That's right. So you don't agree that money is the only source of motivation or money is the only key for work motivation. So this is, you don't agree. All right. So this is, you're denying the statement. Secondly, does the world agree on that? What is the common narrative? That is money the only source of motivation for people? What is the common narrative prevalent in society or the world? Money is a motivator till a certain level, but we've seen other types of examples also that people resign even when they're paid high. All right. So this is something that we have to work upon. Okay. And what the question is? The question is comment. Whenever you are asked to comment, how do you comment in the chat section? What do you write under the video that you watch? You comment basically, you express your views. And your views means what are the prevalent views? What is the common narrative? You will not talk views which are personal to you. You will not talk about personal views. That's not required in any examination. You will talk as a member of society. What you are seeing, what are the examples you have seen, what all you have read. That is how you talk as a member of society. Major factors, but not only. Money, money is significant reason, but not the only reason. That's right. All right. So I think the question is clear to you. You have to comment, means you have to give your viewpoint regarding this. The viewpoint of examiner is, he's just giving you a statement in quote, that I feel money is the only factor of motivation at workplace. Then you can deny or you can agree with it. If you are agreeing with it, then here what you will say that yes, you agree with it, and you will have to write in favor of the argument. If you are against it, and you better be against it because that is the prevailing notion. People feel, a lot of experts have felt that money is not the only factor of motivation. So we will write a very academic answer. We will not write personal views. We will not take a stand which is very personal to us. We will take the prevalent stand. Okay. Yes, Me Too movement, that's right. Timings of class, they are 3 p.m. every day. 3 p.m. and tomorrow is going to be the last class. So first of all, how will you start this answer? How will you start? How will you start to express that you don't agree with this? How will you start this answer? How will you start your introduction? Now again, when I give this to you, will you define what is motivation, or will you define what are motivational factors at workplace? What can be the factors of motivation at workplace? Will you do this? And if you talk about these factors, that what are the factors of motivation at workplace, if you talk about them in the beginning itself, then what will you write in your body part? What will you write in the body part of the answer? Also, do you remember any theories with regards to motivation of people at workplace or any organization? Okay. What is the basic thing that we do in our introductions? An introduction is a conversation with the examiner. And while having a conversation, you don't take a stand in the beginning itself. You talk about the topic, that is about the keywords generally. आप generally बात करते हो जो चीज question में mentioned है. So what is the thing you can generally talk about? You can talk about organizations, role of motivation and role of money in organizations. Yes, we can start with Maslow's theory in factors. Yes, in body part, you can talk about Maslow's theory. In the introduction also, you can talk about Maslow's theory. But what I recommend is that you use Maslow's theory in the body part. First define motivation as introduction, and then give factors for that. Yes, Khushbu, that's right. So let's look at one of the introductions. Just read them out and then just let me know if you feel that's right, if you feel that you can add something or something needs to be deleted. Let's see. First of all, talking generally about the scenario. Modern business organizations depend on division of work into different departments. with adequately skilled people being employed in these departments. This is what we are talking. This is how modern organizations function, because modern business organizations, that is also a keyword. That is also not a very important keyword, but it has been mentioned. So start talking from there, that how do modern business organizations function? How were old business organizations functioning? They were mostly running from houses. They were mostly MSMEs. So modern business organizations depend on division of work into different departments with adequately skilled people being employed in these departments. This entire process, what does this process help in? It helps the company achieve their goals. The organization achieves its goals with the help of this process, and the people, they get their salaries. People get money, and the organization is able to achieve goals. That could, the goals could be making profit, the goals could be anything. This entire process helps the company achieve their goals on one hand, while it provides the employees with their due share of salary on the other. Now look at this, we are building it. We are building tempo for coming to the money part. So since what were employees getting? Organizations were achieving their goals. Employees were getting salary. So do you think if an organization has to achieve goals, the organization just has to pay salary? That is what the examiner is trying to ask, that if an organization, a modern organization, to achieve its goals has just to pay salary, that is not the right thing. So what we did was, we explained the organizational scenario in 2 lines to the examiner, and we said that yes, employees are paid salaries in return. Hence, it does appear that the employees work for money, and money is the only motivation for people to work. It appears that organization achieves goals, people get salaries, and this is the only relation between organization and people or employees. But do you think this is the only relation? This is not the only relation. That relation, that is something you have to focus upon, that if organization has to retain employees, they have to go way beyond money and salaries. So hence it does appear that the employees work for money, and money is the only motivation for people to work. But we still witness frequent resignations from high-paying jobs. You see resignations even when the job is high-paying. What else do you see? Even when the salaries are on time, people are not interested in goals of organization, or they don't want to work. You see, that is indifference to company's progress. What else do you see? Let me know in the chat section. So, but in many organizations, these phenomena have been seen. So this suggests that money is not the only motivator of workplace. The following arguments can be made in this regard. So we started with talking about modern organizations. This is something you've read, right? You know, in your management, that an organization is divided into different departments, and people are employed in these departments. Why are people working for the organization? Because they are getting money. If there is no money involved, people will not work. So we are just talking about that story. We are just giving that picture to the examiner, that organization has to achieve goals, people have to make money. So yes, they do have a relationship. Employees and organization, there is a relationship, but money is not the only factor. Okay, so I'm reading your comments now. During Great Resignation, toxic work environment was major reason for employee attrition rather than money. Jacqueline, I would suggest that you use this example. In the body part. All of you, the exam is very near. I'm like reiterating it again and again. Whenever you have to start some answer, a lot of thoughts will come in your mind, especially if you have read the question. If you have read the topic, if you have read the question properly, a lot of thoughts will come to your mind. But before starting to write the answer, draw a rough sketch. Alright, for example, this example, Jacqueline, you can use this in the body part as one of the points. And you can define the point first of all, and then use this as an example. Other people will not be writing this example. So that will fetch you more marks. In the introduction, what other thing can you write? See, objective examples, talking about some incidents. These should be kept for your body part. General examples, prevalent scenarios, prevalent processes. For example, Mass resignations, for example, people's indifference. These are general processes. Talk about general processes in introduction, in philosophical questions. Talk about exact examples, time-based examples in the body part. All right. Do you have something to add in this introduction, all of you? Do you understand where we moved from? We basically tried to create a picture in the mind of examiner for an organization and the employees and the relationship of organization with these employees. The examiner says the relationship is only money. We say no. Even when this person gets money, he still leaves. Even when this person gets money, he fails to work. Or he destroys companies, organizations' infrastructure. Or he doesn't care about any infrastructure of the organization. So, okay. So this scenario we are trying to establish in 3-4 lines, and then we are moving that since this situation has been seen, this kind of situation has been seen, hence we can infer that money is not the only motivator at workplace. And the following arguments can be made in this regard. How? Now you have to justify. You've taken a stand. You have taken a stand by telling a story. You have not said yes or no, but you have taken a stand by creating this scenario. Now we'll talk in arguments. We'll justify for what we are saying. We'll expand on it. Now, how will you justify it? Have you read any theories of motivation? Have you read anything in current affairs that with the help of which you can justify that money is not the only motivator? How will you justify that money is not the only motivator for organization, for people to work in an organization? Yes, let me know in the chat section. Any theories you've read of? Any theories you've read about? Okay. So we will be talking about what money does. Money basically fulfills the basic needs. And where have we learned about these basic needs and higher needs? We've talked about them. We've learned about them in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now with the first point, with the first argument, yes, Herzberg's two-factor theory. Now the catch is, you don't have to talk about theories. You have to quote theories to use them as arguments in your answer. You cannot put theories like that. You cannot say that Herzberg said this, hence proved, or Maslow said this, hence proved. No. You have to first talk about where the problem is, and then you have to quote Herzberg or Maslow that see, Maslow also said the same thing. First part, read the first line. Money can meet the lower needs like physiological safety and social needs of an individual, but fails to meet higher order needs like self-esteem and self-actualization. This is exactly the statement that Maslow gave us, but we are not mentioning his name right now. What we are talking, we're just explaining that how money is not the only factor, because money can meet lower needs like physiological safety and social needs of an individual, but fails to meet higher order needs like self-esteem and self-actualization. Now, give the solution, give a light solution here itself. How will you meet the need of self-esteem and self-actualization? How will these needs be met? So let's say, in the long run, when this happens, these needs are not met. So in the long run, people might altogether lose interest in work. All interest in work if their basic needs are met, but higher needs, self-esteem and self-actualization needs are not met. So this is the reason every point in your answer should justify the question statement or the stand that you have taken. So if you read it till here, forget what is written here. If you read it till here, do you think our stand regarding money is clear to the examiner with the first 2 lines, with the first 3 lines? Do you think you can make your stand clear to the examiner by reading just the first part? Money can meet the lower needs like physiological safety and social needs of an individual, but fails to meet higher order needs like self-esteem and self-actualization. In the long run, people might altogether lose all interest in work. So this clearly shows that we are against the statement. We are telling that money is not the only factor of motivation. Now back it with a solution. According to Maslow's theory, non-financial incentives, that is non-monetary or other incentives than money, like reward, recognition, praise, etc., lead to the fulfillment of higher order needs like self-esteem and self-actualization. So you created a problem, you told the examiner that this is not all, money is not all, and then you gave the solution as well by quoting Maslow. Yes, and also when you've said that higher order needs fail, higher order needs cannot be met with money, then what is the result of that if higher order needs are not met? Tell it to the examiner that what will happen if higher order needs are not met? You will lose interest in work. This is not something Maslow told us. This is something we know. Okay, so add points from your side also and then give Maslow's theory as a solution. Now moving on to the next point, then it will be more clear. Make sure you're giving solutions side by side. Make sure your first line is explaining that how money is not the only factor for motivation. Second should be what is the result of this. First point, example, explain why. Then what happens or result. Then give solution. This should be the pattern in all your points. All the points should be symmetric. And you can also write point number one bullet, second bullet, third bullet. Write in this manner. Yes, Khushbu, you can write. The morale is down in the long run. You can use these words. Now, second point. So, moreover, as per Herzberg's two-factor theory, now we are explaining the problem or why money is not a motivational factor. Money acts as a hygiene factor, the absence of which can lead to dissatisfaction. But its existence does not ensure a positive satisfaction. Hence, the existence. Now you have explained the why. And you've also told that what happens if other factors are not there. Now give the solution. Hence, what is the solution? The existence of non-financial incentives like responsibility, advancement, growth, etc. act as motivating factor and lead to positive satisfaction. Just look at the pattern of these questions. You can also write 2 bullet point 1 till here, then bullet point 2, your solution. Then moving on to the third point. Again, first line would be explaining the why, that why money is not a motivational factor. We are taking the help of these theories. Third, why? As per the Adams equity theory, money acts as a motivator only if it is provided in adequate quantity in comparison to the performance. Now, how do you decide adequate quantity? There is no adequate quantity. It is just based on, in a market economy, it is just based on demand and supply. If there are a lot of people who have the same kind of skill, then obviously they will not be able to rise beyond a certain salary level. If there are very few people in a very high skilled job, very few people available, obviously they'll be paid higher. So it is based on demand and supply. So Adams equity theory said that money can be motivating if it is paid in adequate amount. But what is the adequate amount? Nobody knows. Alright, your house help services in countries like India, they are paid very less. But same house help services in Western world, they're paid highly, they're paid very highly because they're available. The demand is high, but the supply is low. People providing house help services, they're very low in number there. So, what you can do? Find a loophole here. That however, adequate quantity can never be decided as it depends on demand and supply in a market economy. Then how do you motivate people with money? How do you decide that, okay, if I pay this person these many 1,000 rupees or lakh rupees, he will be motivated? How do you decide it? You cannot decide. So money is not the only factor which can also decide whether a person will be motivated or not. So hence you've proved it till here. You've proved why. Now give solution. Hence, there are other factors. There can be other factors which can motivate a person. For example, job stability. Why do we all want government jobs? Not because of the money, not because government jobs are highly paid. Everybody finds government job a good job because job stability is there. Regular promotions, that is career advancement opportunities are there. Appropriate skill development is there. Appropriate skill development programs, trainings will happen. And sound promotion policy, which motivate people to work in the long run. Right or not? So money is not the only factor. Job stability, career advancement opportunity. You can also, go for courses or other higher education in a government job. Now many companies, yes, Sunil, that's right. Many private companies, many private organizations, they have understood this, that no, even if you pay highest to an employee, there is no guarantee that she will stay or not. There have to be other factors to keep him. And that has to be, you give him stability. Okay. You give him some additional skill to learn that he gets to learn from the organization. So he stays motivated, she stays motivated. Career advancement opportunity. That employee should be able to see that if I work for this organization for next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, then I will be at a very high position or I will improve. My life will be better. Sound promotion policy. This should be very clear. The employee should know that if I work harder, if he is motivated to work harder, then I might get a promotion. All right. So the why, explain the problem, that why money is not a motivator, and then give the solution. That's how your point should be. Here we are writing every point in paragraph format, but you can easily write them in pointer formats also. Finally, work culture plays a very important role. Why money is not a motivator? Because work culture is a very important factor. Then describe the situation a little bit more. Then give the solution. Work culture plays a very important role. Many a time, employees leave abruptly because of unhealthy work culture, which adds to stress. Then, here we are starting the solution. Better conditions in an organization, like effective leadership. Effective leadership means there is less politics. You can approach your manager if you have any problem. You can approach your boss if you have any bigger problem. Individual autonomy. You should be taking ownership of your projects. Nobody should be micromanaging your tasks. We learned yesterday, in autocratic type of leadership, micromanagement is done. So that should not be there. Individual autonomy should be there. Reward orientation. Just a little bit of appreciation when an employee has worked. Yes, Rohit, hello. Consideration to employees. Positive work-life balance. Lesser working hours. There's no fun keeping your employees in the same room for 10 hours a day. They will be demotivated in the long run, or they will be indulging into other practices in the office premises itself. All right. So less working hours, but more quality working hours. Paid leaves, risk taking, etc. They provide an organization to be different from other organizations. Positive measures taken in these aspects help to develop better organizational climate. Okay. So basically, these are your points. Do you have anything to add here? More points can you add? There is any other theory that you feel? Any examples that you can write about? Safe work environment. Aman, elaborate on this. And Jakin, you used your example that during Great Resignation, toxic work environment was major reason for employee attrition rather than money. So write this in the fourth part. Use that as an example. Where will you use it? Here. Many times employees leave abruptly because of unhealthy work cultures. For example, and then after that, talk about the solution. Aman, just elaborate on what you're trying to say a little bit. Expand a little, yes, Aman. Okay. So yes, Khushbu, Jakin, Sunil, Aman and Rohit, do you have any more points to add here? If you have to justify that money is not the only factor for motivation at workplace. Yes. Yes, that's right. Like in Byju's now. Prepare the example of Byju's for corporate governance. Very important. Because whatever news that appears regarding Byju's is with regards to corporate governance. We'll be taking the topic corporate governance tomorrow, but make sure that you're able to cite that example. All right. RBI governor's resignation can be used or not. Don't use political examples. Because the governor had something to say while the political leaders had something else to say. So don't use these examples. They might or might not be liked by the examiner. So not very fundamental. Yes, safety, workplace safety is a very important factor. For example, women face sexual harassment at many workplaces. Add that as the 5th point. Work safety, safety of workplace. Or a workplace that is transparent regarding its policies. That plays a very important role. That can be a 5th point. So women work to like in certain organizations which are safe for them, which are respectable for them. And not just women, all people like to work in such organizations. All right. So yes, any more points? We have the 5th point here, work safety. Workplace safety. Yes, Aman, very good. Workplace safety plays a very important role. Despite of high salaries, many employees might resign if they do not feel safe at workplaces. Safe about their careers, safe about their, physical safety, emotional safety, any kind of safety. Yes. Sometimes rigid policies and no flexibility is there. Yes, add there that workplaces need to be flexible. They should focus on work being done. Whether people are working from home. For example, after working for a few days, some people might want to work from home, from the safety of their houses or from the comfort of their houses. They might want to spend more time with their children. So organizations should be flexible in this. And such organizations which are flexible with such work timings and where people work from, they are highly successful in the long run. They are able to retain employees as compared to other organizations. Yes, Khushbu, that's right. So yes, workplace safety, flexible workplaces. For example, recently, a lot of IT companies, right now we are having this, problem with the IT sector. A lot of layoffs are happening. But sometime back last year, a lot of IT companies asked the employees to come back to office and not to work from home anymore. So employees actually switched companies because they did not want to work from office. Work culture, sense of purpose, new challenges, growth opportunities, flexible environment recognition. Yes. Mystery and Tata conflict. How will you justify this? M&M. That's basically a conflict of corporate governance, or it could be a conflict of leadership. How will you justify it here? And for all others, how will you conclude your answer? Since you've been asked to comment, you've been asked to give your viewpoint. So that means in other ways you will have to take a stand. And the stand should not be personal to you. It should be the prevailing stand in society. Prevailing stand of educated people or intellectual people in society. So how will you conclude your answer? Let me know in the chat section. Yes. How will you conclude the answer? Let's move on and see what we have. So hence, for most of the people, we are not saying in conclusion or it can be concluded. Just reiterate the statement, reiterate your arguments again. Hence, for most of the people, money is more of a sub-motivator than a prime mover when it comes to why people work every day. Do you think that just by reading this one line in your conclusion, the examiner will be able to understand what you have written in the body part? He will be able to understand, for sure. Hence, for most of the people, money is more of a sub-motivator than a prime mover when it comes to why people work every day. People work because they have to support, they have to feed their families, they have to take care of their expenses. So people are now increasingly, not just this, not just taking care of expenses. What are people moving towards? They're now increasingly looking for more meaning and purpose in their professional lives. Professional lives, offices, that is where you spend almost half of your day. 8 to 9 hours, that's 1/3 of your day, or even more than that if you include the commuting time. So almost half of the day, or 1/3, anything that you see, that you feel fit, that is spent in the office, in the workplace. That means that portion of life is spent at the workplace. So people can't be working just for money. We are human beings, intellectual organisms. We also need some purpose and self-actualization in life. So now people are increasingly looking for more meaning and purpose in their professional lives. In other words, they want to feel that they really are contributing to and making a difference to the world. That's why you're preparing for this exam. All right. And this can also be seen. This can also be vindicated. Vindicated means explained. Explained or reasoned. Through example of Mr. N. Narayan Murthy, who returned as Infosys chairman in 2013 at just ₹1, with an annual compensation of only ₹1, because he was not motivated by money. Rather, it was something else, that sense of purpose, serving the society, that motivated him. Yes, Pushpendra, add that as one of the solutions. We've given 4 points, then we expanded them to 6 points. In every point, start with explanation that why money is not a motivator, then give the solution. Therefore, finally conclude, money holds the key to work as a motivator to a certain extent or level. But the role of non-financial incentives cannot be ignored in modern business organizations as we move up the hierarchy. Modern business organizations, this term should appear in your conclusion as well, because this is what the question was about. All right. Anything else you feel you can add in the conclusion? Yes. Any more points you have to mention here? Any more theories you feel that you can mention here? Any other way you feel that you can conclude? Yes, Aman. Yes, Khushbu, Pushpendra, Jakan, Eminem, Sunil, Rohit. Any more points you want to add here, which you're feeling, which have not been added, or which will you write? Yes. Yes, Khushbu. So basically your philosophical questions, they're very easy to handle. You know what you have to tell. You also know the situation around. And sometimes you will also know why that question has been asked. Let's say if you see a question on corporate governance on Sunday, you will know why that question has been asked. Because of the case of falling edtech giants, one of the biggest edtech giants of India is falling. So you will definitely know the question, why has it been asked? So you will know, you will have emotions toward that question. But deciding what to write first, how to write, and justifying it in an orderly manner, that will fetch you marks. As we've done with our points. Again, I'm giving you that free rein. Explain these points in the form of sub-points as well. Go for it. But even if you're writing in paragraph, these points are written in paragraph. And even if you do not have numbering for these points, make sure every paragraph is making sense. Every paragraph has some new information to add for the examiner. We started with basic needs, physiological needs. We gave the solution given by Maslow. Then we moved on to Herzberg, what Herzberg said and what happens because of that. Then we gave the solution according to us, that non-financial incentives are required. So even if the examiner is reading it like a paragraph, she will be able to understand that this is a very intelligent answer. Then we moved on to Adam's equity theory. We explained that what is the problem here. Then we gave the solution. Then finally we talked about work culture. We gave the solution for it. We talked about work safety. And for work safety, what can be the solution that you can give for work safety? Adequate or transparent implementation of all the protection measures that have been given by government. Maternity leaves or your Sexual Harassment at Workplaces Act. There should be separate committees. It should be more friendly for all kinds of genders. So that can be the solution for workplace safety. Flexible workplaces. This is, I think, very much relatable to you. Work from home opportunities have grown so much after the COVID-19 pandemic. Then we summed up with a conclusion where we reiterated that for most of the people, money is just a sub-motivator than a prime mover when it comes to why people work every day. But nowadays, what people are looking for, not just money, because there are n number of jobs available. They can get money in a different job also. So what people are looking for when they join an organization, they're looking for more fulfillment, looking for more meaning and purpose in their professional lives, because half of the day they're spending in their offices. They can't be spending it like that just to feed their families. No, that's not possible, humanly not possible. So they want to feel that they're really contributing and making difference to the world. Then give an example, and then, or just include this example in one of the points if you do not want to end with an example. You can also use a quote here. See, full marks are never awarded for any question, but there are highest marks that can be awarded. For example, for a 10-marker question, I'm not sure what are the highest marks, but obviously there would be a bar set. So you can get the highest marks for any question, especially philosophical questions, because a lot of people don't know how to answer philosophical questions. They just, cram some quotes. So don't do that. Use quotes to your advantage. Use quotes as your tools, not to guide the examiner. Okay. So yes, scoring very high on philosophical questions, that's very much possible. But full marks are never awarded in any exam. But that should be an enough motivator that you are scoring more than what other people are scoring. All right. So that's about it. That's about today's class. Lots and lots of, gratitude for, tuning in every day at 3 p.m. We are discussing just one question today. Tomorrow we'll take some question with regards to corporate governance. Very important. So we'll keep tomorrow's lecture also very short. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done yet. If you have some feedback for this session or for me, my name is Surbhi. And write to us at hello@edutap.co.in. It motivates us a lot when you send us a written feedback. So do that positively after watching this video. If you have any doubts or if you want to book a session with one of our experts, then call at this number and get your session booked at 8146-207-241. All right. I'll see you tomorrow again at 3 p.m. Keep working hard and all the very best. All right, Khushbu, thank you. Sunil, yes, all of you, thank you. And yes, okay. Welcome. Yes, Jacqueline. Yes, Aman, even without quotes, you can fetch good marks if you justify whatever is important in the question. All right. So yes, that's all for today. I'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. again.